Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Talk Junkies, where I'm coming to you live from my basement. I love saying that. It's beautiful. I really do love saying that. It's awesome. In this video tonight, I'm legitimately going to tell you what you don't want to hear, and that includes me. It fundamentally comes down to myself as well. And this is what you don't want to hear. There's a lot of crazy shit going on in the United States right now. That's what I can speak to because I live here. I'm in the middle of it. My family's in the middle of it. And everyone else with me is along for the ride. This isn't just like a select group of people that have to endure something that is happening. This is all of us, 325 million Americans that are literally taking on the same thing right now, mentally. And I think this is what you don't want to hear. I'll be completely honest. And again, this holds true to me as well. We are so far gone as a society that we've lost our core values. The first being our health and what that means. And what that means is diet and what you eat and what you put into your body. And we all know how many fast food restaurants and how many different restaurants are within the United States. I would go out there and venture to say that the vast majority of people eat unhealthy. We're all unhealthy. None of us eat the right way. Majority of us. I would go out there and guarantee it that at least 80% of the population that are adults don't eat right. And when you do that, what do you think happens to your body? I smoke cigarettes. I probably shouldn't do that. I'm not treating my body as a temple. And we all know that we should treat our bodies as temples. But with everything that's going on right now, with the pandemic, with the rioting and things like that, we should be in tip-top shape. We should be in the right ideal mindset to face these type of things that are coming our way. I listened to the podcast with Peter Schiff, and he made a good point. He's like, he had said, Joe Rogan asked him, he's like, man, this isn't anyone's fault. This is no one's fault at all. No, we should bail everyone out, basically. We should bail out the Americans because it's not their fault. You can't control that a pandemic happens. And Peter Schiff said, he says, everyone should have had savings. Everyone should have had savings, and they should have been able to withstand something like this that happens. A shutdown to the economy, a shutdown to what life is. We all should be prepared for that. I'm 31 right now, and I can say that I was finally in my life prepared for something like this to happen, like a pandemic. Not forever, not for a year, but for 6 months, I was prepared for that. How many other people can say that? And that's no one else's fault but their own, because I was that person where it was my fault that I never saved in my 20s. I never saved for it. Why? Because we're brainwashed, and we were brought up this way to just consume, and just spend money. That's just how we are. No one taught us any differently. Most of us, anyways. Most of us. And the same thing goes with our health. That's off the wayside now. That's gone. No one's talking about health. I was literally sitting outside with my wife tonight, and she's the one who brought that up to me. Literally, our health. If the pandemic is legitimate, the number one way to combat that is with health. Be healthy. Eat healthy. It's hard for me. I don't do it. But she brought it up, and it's something that we can work on as a couple together within our family, to eat healthy and treat our bodies the right way. That way we can be ready for something like this. You know, and if it's our time and we're healthy and that's not enough, then that's not enough. It's not enough at that point. But not only that, you're going to mandate millions and millions of people to wear masks. Let's talk about the aftermath of that. The aftermath of that. When everyone's immune systems are compromised because they've been wearing masks for a legitimate year. They're talking about a year or 2 years that we could be wearing masks. What happens to everyone's immune system for a year wearing masks? What happens to that? When all of a sudden everyone takes the mask off and just starts breathing in everything. And their immune systems have been just subjected to nothing. What happens then? I'm no scientist, I'm no doctor, but I think it's clear cut, and I think it's common sense to say that we're probably not ready for that. We're not ready for that, man. We're all consumed in this media culture, in this, and again, I'm a part of it, man. I truly am. I get up, I get on my phone. I deleted Google off my phone. I have DuckDuckGo, but still I have a way of looking at Google, and I'm looking at news stories. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to see what's going on in the world. You know, I catch myself on Instagram just scrolling through all my friends and shit like that, man. Like, what happened to the day where we all just went outside and we actually just started growing our own crops? What would happen if everyone in the United States did that? I mean, with the amount of, minus people who live in apartments and stuff like that. And even then, they could still do it out their window, and you get the sunlight. You still have the sunlight to grow plants and shit like that. But that's what we need to do. We've lost touch with nature, man. We've lost touch with the world that we live in. This is literally turning into the movie with Bruce Willis. What's that movie called? Surrogates. That's what this is. That's the end goal. We're all going to live in a virtual reality. That's what, Elon Musk, all these high-tech people have came out and said that we're going to live in a world where we can't distinguish what is real and what is not. But you know what? Right now we have the choice to know what it is that we live in. And we choose to be a part of a two-party system that literally distracts us one way or the other, as opposed to getting down to the middle and the brass tacks of what the true issues are. You know, Peter Schiff, man, free market. I don't know. I don't know if I'm all about the free market and shit like that, but it sounds nice, man. It sounds nice. From all that I know and everything that I know, it's what the government has controlled my whole life for 30 years in for all of America. The government came in at one point, and then they started just taking over and printing money and just doing exactly what the fuck they want to do. We don't know anything different. So when people get in the comment sections, and I'm reading a podcast that I listen to with Joe Rogan and Peter Schiff, and these people are just like dogging Peter Schiff, we never really lived that life. And when we did, and the free market was legit, that's what turned America into what it was before the government stepped foot in. People could afford things. I know I like to go back, and we did the podcast with Pat, and they were trying to equate it to the gold standard leaving in 1971. But who knows, man? Who knows? It's when the government got involved and free market left. And even free market probably would have turned into this. Corporate oligarchies, man. It's just human nature, just to be just to want more and just to be the best and have control over people. Man, I'm a manager at a restaurant, and I'm the general manager. And sometimes I catch myself having to be like, whoa, like I need to step back. I'm not the end all be all, man. Like at the end of the day, we're just trying to make money. This is what you don't want to hear. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, we have to just treat our bodies as temples, man. That's the hardest thing for anyone. I've tried to eat healthy for a week or 2 weeks, and Jesse Jesse with Talk Junkies, the dude that does the podcast with me every week, he went a year straight, solid, no nothing, no drinking, no smoking, eating healthy, just being the best person that he could be. And it sucks. You don't have a lot of fun. You don't. There's really no fun involved in that. But at the end of the day, if this pandemic is real, Jesse, being in the most truest form of himself at that point in time, would probably be able to combat this pandemic more so than anyone else who's not healthy, who hasn't been eating right, who doesn't smoke, who doesn't drink. I don't know, man. I think what none of us want to hear is we truly need to step away from the social media, from listening to the news and watching TV and watching movies and just being sucked into that culture. And we need to be more about each other. We need to be united as a community. When has and this, again, this includes me. We've looked up the city charter. We've pulled those type of things up. We haven't read it, just like the Constitution and shit like that. When have any of us been involved in our own community? That's where it starts, within our own community. I live in a city that's a population of 30,000 people. Right next to me is 20,000 people, and right behind us is another 10,000. I mean, like, dude, there's 100,000 people within a 20-mile radius, and we're not all involved. What is this world that we live in? What do we want? What do you want? Do you just want to sit in your house and watch TV and just be fed propaganda, man? Because that's what it is. If you can't see that, then don't even watch this, because that's exactly what it is. It's so easy to see. I don't know. The title of this video is What You Don't Want to Hear. And that includes me, myself, not wanting to hear those things. And that's treating your body right. I need to stop smoking cigarettes. I need to not drink. You know, I need to eat healthy, whatever that means. And just be all about my family and my friends, man. And not being sucked up into what's going on around the world around us. And yes, my wife also made another good point. It's nice to know what's going on in the world. It is. But at the end of the day, does it really matter? Are we past a point of no return with the way that the government how the government or the globalists have created Agenda 21, Agenda 2020, or Agenda 2030, whatever you want to call it? That's coming soon. Are we past the point of no return? Most likely. So enjoy life, man. Enjoy life with your friends and family. Treat your body right. And I think you might do all right. I'm no doctor, man. I'm no doctor. I'm not a doctor at all. I'm not saying that I know the cure or anything like that to this pandemic. But I think if we all treated our bodies with respect and didn't eat at McDonald's or Burger King or Chipotle or, you know, man, fuck, man. I had someone who, they work at Chipotle. Literally a billboard right next to the Chipotle that's in my city. And it says, I bet you have more freezers than we do, because we have zero. They state that. And we should probably sue Chipotle for saying that, because they have a fucking freezer that they put their meat and their cheese in. Just saying, we got to start treating our body right. It's not about Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, in the middle. It's not about any of that. We've lost our fundamental values of what it is to be a human being. And that's our body, right? It's our body, how our body works, treating it the right way. When's the last time you meditated? When's the last time you were even taught about meditation? I didn't know what meditation was till I was in my 20s. Breath work, breathing, lung capacity, how you can expand and contrast your lungs to where you can hold your breath longer in water, just by knowing what your body's capable of doing. I don't know what the fuck my body's capable of doing except for working, having sex, taking care of my children, smoking cigs, and eating the grossest and nastiest shit ever imaginable. That's what my body knows how to do. My subconscious, man, has been taken over by the government when it doesn't have to be. This is what you don't want to hear. You don't want to hear that no more social media. Turn it off. No more fast food. Cook at home. Buy organically from your local farmers. It's more expensive, but do it, man. It's what you don't want to hear. Step away. Don't play video games. None of that sounds fun. None of it sounds fun at all, because it's not. But it's all we know. That's how we've been raised. That's why it doesn't seem fun. And again, it's me too. And I have to try my hardest not to do those things. But I think if we take baby steps, it doesn't have to be all at once. Taking baby steps to do those things. And if you listen to this short live stream of 15 minutes, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know the answers to much of anything. But what I do know is that if we treat our body right, I think you can do, amazing things. Amazing things. Great, beautiful, amazing things. But we have no idea what those things are because we were never taught those things. You mean you had an anatomy class when you were in high school? You know, I was born in 1989. Didn't really learn much about the human body. Never learned once about breath work. Never learned once about meditation. All I learned about was history and math and shit that honestly I just don't even remember. Maybe they, you know, I don't remember much of any of that shit. But you don't learn the good stuff, man. Your school lunches, what is that? It's fucking prison food, man. Prison food. Square pizzas, so good, by the way. I love square pizza with the, you know, put some corn on it. I would eat it. Chicken sandwiches. School food, I mean, some of it was good. But that, I mean, like, your whole life you grew up with that school food, man. It's literally trash for your body. We've never treated our bodies the way that they need to be. We were never taught that. Even if you are taught that right now, your parents weren't. So how hard is it going to be to continue that at home, even if the schools try and feed us the right way? Oh, man. I think that's a long enough rant, man. That's what you don't want to hear. Eat healthy. Stay away from social media. Turn off the fucking TV. Throw your TV away. I want to, but I'm not going to. I'll still enjoy the occasional TV or try and break myself away from it. I honestly don't watch TV. The only time I watch TV is when my kids do, and I shouldn't even let them watch TV. But it's an excuse for me to get a break, you know, or a small breakaway from being a parent. And that's the easy way out. And I need to stop doing that. The only time I'll turn the TV on is to watch Chiefs football. It's the only time. We need to focus on what's important in life. I don't know. Hopefully you guys got something out of this video. Hit that like button, hit the bell notification. To all our junkies out there, stay fly and ring the bell. Peace.